Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, miss.
Now, how many times did I told you na I do not want to see the answer only of your solution, answer of the problem, no solution. Some of you, I told you now just place what is this? The values right away, the answer, but then you did not place the formula so that I will know what you will substitute, which will be from the tabulation when I told you to get the summation of everything. You make the table before you substitute it to the formula, and after the substitution of the formula, you will have the computed values before I will check your final answer. But most of you, kanang wala mo follow instructions. I think you were not listening during the lecture. And another thing is this one. You considering that you have already the answer. For example, you will have this. You have already considering that you have already the answer. I did not give a credit to those who give the answer only. Sama na magic. No. Kapila na ko magsige sulti. Ang to thank nga kanang mga nagkuan is just the same persons nga wala mo follow og instruction. Meaning na pag i-discuss na ko wala maminaw. Okay, assuming that this is how, you know what, when you place your decision, ang akong tanan gi-lecture, maun sa di inyong isuwat. Ang akong gi-lecture is just to show you nga that is the basis of making the decision. Like for example, your R is 0.92, assuming that one. But this is the answer, I think, of what I had given. If you will look at this, ang akong gisulti, at the back of your mind, you know that that is a positive correlation. Right? Because positive man, di man wa may negative side. It is only at the back of your mind. Ako nag-istorya ninyo, pero it should have been recorded at the back of your mind. Now, after the computations, sa itong mga substitution, ibutang na sa at the back of your mind. Ayaw nang i-delete. So at the back of your mind, pagkakita ninyo aning inyong answer, it will be at the back of your mind a positive correlation. And then aside from that one, if you are going to specify how positive it is, so it will be a strong positive correlation. But then, in your decision, ang inyo nang effect atong positive, strong positive correlation. You give your decision in terms of the problem. So what was the variable of this? This is, I think, so itong variable ani? The variable of this is sa variable ani? Itong akong gihatag nga sample. The variable of this one is you have age and glucose level. So this is the problem on the age. You have the age and the glucose level. Kaya kung wala mo, dili ninyo mabutang sa inyong decision, it shows that you do not know what you are solving for. Wala mo kalibautan. So you were given a data on the age and the glucose level. So
Miss,
if you were
excuse
given
me,
a
miss, pwede
data,
mo tanong, miss.
yeah,
Katong sa assignment tamo, miss, atong sa Wednesday or katong sa kuan Monday pa?
parehas naman ang duha, and duha may akong gipasolve ninyo. Gipatiwas man to nako.
Okay.
This is your assignment, di ba? This is your assignment. Then I told you also to finish the solution of the first one if you were listening. Oh, any more questions? Ang akong gi-discuss ani, I am just discussing as to how you will make your decision, because when I check your papers, or you check your answers, ang inyong decision, you do not know how to make the decision. It doesn't matter if it was the assignment given or if it was the problem that we solve gawa na to mahuman. O, any more questions para magkasinabot ta? Any more questions? Isa mo tayo ni question. Kanina. What's that?
Okay, miss. So, pwede
Sabi
mo
ni daw.
utana mi, miss? What should be the decision, miss, para maka-kuan mi, miss? Maka-tan-aw mi, miss? O kung sa ikuan. Para next time,
O,
miss,
bitaw
balik tayo.
nag-discuss ko, nya inyo man kung gikuan, inyo man kung unsa na, gi-stop kay nangutana mo assignment pa nagdili. So, meaning, if what I am discussing, you do not know, you did not do your work. Kay maka-recall mo kung unsa akong gi-discuss. No, bitaw nag-discuss ko para you will know. Nya inyo man kung gipangutana kung assignment pa na or unsa. So, if you made your assignment, makahinumdum na imo, mabito ako mo akong gipangutanag unsa to atong kuan nga na-answer nga 0.92 because I do not want to look back in the LMS. Ang ako na remember lang when I check the paper nga this one, the first gitiwas to ang first na akong gidiscuss was 0.5 I think. Nya kani ikaduha ang 0.92 of which most of you wala mo solve sa permiro mo tiwas ang gihatag kanirang ikaduha. Di ba? Is that right? Wala ba mo tubag? Mo nang di maminaw. So, what did I ask from you? What did I ask from you? To solve the assignment and to answer to finish the solution of the example that we had? Was that right?
Yes, miss. Among kita ang duha, miss.
Oh, ang duha. Ang duha akong ipansiran, right?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Oh.
Ang duha, miss.
There were some. Maihap ra ang nag-answer og duha. Ang uban, ang gi-answer, kuan, ang ikaduha ra kanang 0.92 ra. Which shows that katong usaray gi-answeran, wala maminaw. Okay. Good. We will forget about that one. We'll go on to the decision. I told you nga, if you will, so assuming that, I don't know to, nasasabot ba mo eh? Assuming that, humanamog butang sa formula, humanamog substitute sa values, finish na ang computed values, everything before you will have the answer nga 0.92. There were some, wala ibutang ang formula, substitution of the values, nya diretsog answer, so that is wrong. There were some who substituted the values, everything, pero walay table. Diin nga ito gikan ang i-substitute sa formula, nga wa may table. Nga, which I told you to make the table, para ang table, your table is the interpretation of the problem, and then ang unsa inyo makita sa table, ibalhin nato sa formula. Dunay substitution sa diri sa values, pina-encode pa, pero walay table. Nya, checkan ko na. Diin mo nagikan. Gikan sa inyong guardian angel, gihonghong. Oh. Another thing is, you were not listening in the lecture. Kaya niingon ko, when I am discussing, it doesn't mean nga, unsay akong gisulti tanan, isuwat ninyo. What I am discussing was be a step-by-step procedure before you will make your decision. I told you nga, after you will have the answer, so this one, R is equals to 0.92. Walay sign. So it is a positive correlation. Dili man na mo akong gipangayo. Ang akong gipangayo ang decision sa problem. So when you analyze this one nga, positive correlation, you place that at the back of your mind. Kaya ba man akong gidiscuss. Pero dili, it doesn't mean nga kato akong gipangnulti, mao imong answer. So it is a positive correlation. We had established as to unsa ka-positive ang inyong answer. Word it is weak or strong. So kung we give a range na if it is 0.6 to 1, kaya ang atong range of values for the coefficient of correlation is between -1 to +1. Answers other than that is a wrong answer because there is a range of values for your R to be -1 to +1. And if we are going to identify our positive or negative correlation, whether it is strong or weak, we had considered a range na from 0 to 0.5, positive man na siya, we can consider it to be a weak positive correlation. 0.6 to 1 can be a strong positive correlation. The same is true to the weak or to the negative correlation. It can be weak or it can be strong. So if you will look at your answer, assuming that you have the correct answer, ang imong 0.92 is without a sign. So we consider it to be positive. So it is a positive correlation. At the back of your mind, you place it. Di kay suwat na ninyo. And if you will base it from the range, it is strong. So at the back of your mind, it is a strong positive correlation. Now, your decision will be based from the variable of your answer. Ayaw kong tagai nga, the X is is with a strong positive correlation with the Y. Si kinsa man na si X, si kinsa man na si Y. So it should be based from your answer. So because it is a strong positive correlation, and wherein positive correlation means one variable, the X variable increases, the Y variable increases. Pero i-apply to ninyo sa inyong problem. Since we were able to get a positive, strong positive correlation, so we can therefore say that the age of the person is directly proportional to the glucose level. Kaya nga atong importante aning correlation when you do research is to establish the relation of the variables that is involved in the problem. To establish the relation of your age and the glucose level. Ang katong X o Y, representation lang to so that we can substitute it to the formula. So do not give me a decision that X is positively correlated with a strong positive correlation with Y because I do not know kinsa ni si X o kinsa ni si Y. Base it from the problem. And very few were able to follow my instructions. Most of you were giving me a decision nga X is directly proportional to Y. Si kinsa ka ni si X, no? O si kinsa sa ka ni si Y. So which shows that you do not know what you are solving for. Si X o si Y nga we do not know algebra and a representation of our formula. Is that clear to everybody as to how to make the decision? Gikan pa man na sa sinugdanan, oy. Now, when you make your decision, it should be based from the variables used in the problem. Dili kay tagaan ko yung X o Y. Okay, any questions before we'll go on to simple regression? Muna, sige mong balik-balik anin yung pagkapaagi. You place all the substitution of the values, you have the correct answer, thinking that it will be corrected, walay tabulation. So diin man agikan. Gikan sa langit, hagbong dito sa inyong papel o inyong computer. So where did that came from? Kinopya. And how many times did I told you? Formula, substitution of the given values, computed values, before the final answer. Ang kanang mga the same students are doing it the same way. I-encode pa ang mga ang answer, pero encode primero. Pagkaman blanco R is equal to 0.92. Ni milagro man. Milagro na kalit. Walay steps. R is equal to the answer. Yes, decision pa dayon. Do you mean to say I will accept the decision without the computations? Kapoy-kapoy lang mo kuan attach kay it is still 0. Hago lang mo sa inyong panahon. Yeah. Tanawa na ninyo inyong comment. Yeah, wala na comment. Pangutana mo sa inyong classmate, nganong ang inyong score mauna. Okay. Hapitan na, butangan itong comment. The same comments. Nga walay kuan. Solution, walay table. Nya, di kalit lang kuan. Kuha. Wrong solution. Nasa uban. Correct substitution. Pero ang substitution, wala mag-coincide sa summation dito sa table. So ang table, correct. Ang substitution sayop. Ngano man na. Kay if you are doing it yourself, imposible nga di mag-coincide ang inyong gihimo sa table sa inyong substitution of the values. Dili mahitabo nga magkalain-lain. Pero if you are just copying your work, siyempre, malipat yun mo kay imbes og 2265 baro na, mahimo na 2256 nga nabalin man ang nagpasigpat ang left eye man, di man ang right eye. Maunay mahitabo sa inyong mga kwan. And the same students are doing it. Mo na nga kung makapasa ra inyong tapad nga inyong gikopyahan, tanawa kung parehas magyud ang inyong gikopya sa inyong kuan amigo. Kay there are some nga mukopya na sa sinugdanan, mukopya sa answer, ang in between sayop na ang substitution of the values. Muna before you will complain later on if in case you will fail, tanawa na tag maayong inyong record diha. I am recording everything. No, any more questions for the correlation? Napa, ha? I told you, there are two equations. There are two equations. And I told you also last time, if you were listening, equation 1 will be of the same answer with equation 2. I am surprised. Ngano nga, I told you to use equation 2 so that it will be a shorter method for us to apply the next lesson, which is simple regression. Unsa may gibuhat ana mga tulo ka buok. Nag-solve yun using the first formula. Nag-solve na sad using the second formula. Is that not a waste of time? Oh. Another one. Ang katong ubang nga way klarong nangupya, ako okay ra lagi na ako mangupya mo as long as you are copying it correctly. Napa na ha? Walay klaro ang solusyon. Ang table mao ni. Ang table, after the table, ang solution sa example 1. Yeah, sa may, if you will have the table, ang imong table, table 2. Ang imong solution under this table is the solution of the first problem. And then another one is you will have nagbali, walay klaro. So meaning, nga pagkopya ninyo, amo ka klaro kay kung tarong pa inyong pag-solve, you will have the table of number 1, then you will have the substitution of the values, you will have the answer of number 1, r is equal to 0.5. Sunod, table number 2, and then the solution will under be table number 2. Ngano man, ang solution nagkatag man, naguna ang answer number 2, nya solution sa number 1. I do not know. You try to look at your solution, ha? Some do not have any comments, some have comments. Di ka diretso lang magdasmag og pangutanan ako nganong ang inyong score 0. Or why is it that your answer was not corrected? Maura ba mo diretso lang rabadayon mo. And then I told you nga add to sa second formula. And second formula, mas sayo nato ang table sa second formula, mas preferable for us to use the simple linear regression. Okay, we'll go to the simple linear regression. Para makahibaw mo nga anong gusto ko sa second equation. It is in your LMS, and simple linear regression. I will explain that one. Okay, we have simple linear regression. Regression analysis is a set of analytical methods used for the estimation of relationship again between a dependent variable and two or more independent variable. So again, you can make use of this one if you want to establish what is the relation of the age to the glucose level. Okay. So if it is positive, directly proportional, age is directly proportional to the glucose level. If it is negative, it is inversely proportional, meaning that if the relation is inversely proportional, if one variable is increasing, the other variable is decreasing. Pero ayaw kong tagaig decision nga, the variables are inversely proportional. Butangig pangan, so kinsa ang na inversely proportional. So the age level, the age is inversely proportional to the glucose level. After you will have your analysis kung unsa siya, negative ba siya or what, place that at the back of your mind. Kay di man mo kahatag og conclusion unless you have determined whether it is positive correlation, negative correlation, strong or weak correlation. Unless you will have that one, you cannot give the decision. Dili kay ang inyong analysis mainyong himuon decision. Okay. It can be utilized to assess the strength, I have the strength of the relationship between variables and for modeling the future relationship between them. Again, it can be used to establish relations of variables. Now, the simple linear regression equation is graph as a straight line. So if you are going to make a graph, ako maghatag ninyo example for the graph because we are not using graphical method. We are using the mathematical method. But then so that you will understand na the graph of this is a straight line. When if you will have the graph, you will have a representation of capital B sub O. That is corresponding to the y-intercept of the regression line. So if you will graph your data, you will get a straight line. And if you will get the slope of that one, you know how to get the y-intercept of that. You know what is y-intercept and what is slope in your algebra. And the y-intercept of your regression line, which is a straight line, is what is referred to as capital B sub O. Now, if you will get the y-intercept of your graph, that y-intercept is, if you will get the slope of the graph, that slope of your straight line graph will be represented as capital B sub 1. The y, in your y-intercept, now you have the y-intercept, the y is the mean or expected value of a given value of x. So the given value is the x, and then you will have the mean as your y. A regression line can show a positive relationship or negative relationship or no relationship at all. It is the same as correlation. So the graph will come out the same with regression. So you have the same analysis na no relationship. The graph line is flat, not slopes. That is horizontal. Horizontal lang yan kan priya sa correlation. Positive relationship, regression line slopes upward with the lower end of the line at the y-intercept axis or the y-axis of the graph, and the upper end of the extending upward into the graph field away from the x-intercept axis. So there is a positive relationship when two variables will increase. So as one value increases, the other value will increase. Magkuyog sila. So if the age of the person will increase, ang yung glucose level sad mo increase. That is a positive correlation or positive regression. Negative relationship, the regression line slopes downward with the upper end at the line of the y-intercept and the lower end of an extending downward into the graph field towards the x-intercept or the x-axis, y and x-axis. There is a negative linear relationship between two variables. As the value of one increases, the value of the other decreases. So if the age increases, then the glucose level decreases. That is a negative relationship, which can be seen in your solution. Okay, so we have here the formula. Now, kanang capital B sub O, which is the y-intercept, and the capital B sub 1 is the slope of the line. We will not use that one because we are not using graph in our analysis. We are using mathematical method. So meaning to say that your B1, which represents slope of the line, will be represented by a small b1 para ma-differentiated. Kung graph gali, it will be represented by B sub O, capital B sub O, capital B sub 1. If it is mathematical, we are not making a graph, but then we are computing right away. Our B sub 1, which is representing the slope of the line mathematically, is represented by small b sub 1. Then you can see the formula. If you will look at the formula of B1, you have either n, summation of xy minus summation of x, multiplied by summation of, that is y ang ikaduha. That n, na-dubli na. Minus summation of x times the summation of y. Cancel out the summation of x, nga duha naman kabuok. Did you get the correction? Oh, haron ini-solve na sa ninyo sayop kay wa man mo maminaw correction. What is the correction, class?
Wala ang kuan miss, summation of x.
Usa ra
Tama
ka
naman sa
summation of
summation.
x, ha? Only one summation of x. Kung katong magduha ani shows that you were not listening. Okay. Minus summation of x, summation of y. Usa na ka summation of x. All over n, summation of x squared minus summation of x raised to the power of 2. Now, tanawa ang components sa formula. You have mga summation of xy, x, y, which is the same from the table of your correlation. So, if I will ask for correlation and regression, usara ka table ang himuon. You can apply for the solution of the correlation and at the same time, you can solve also for the simple regression. Kay ang tanang components sa table naaraman for the formula of regression, di ba? And then, after solving for B sub 1, B sub 1, you will solve for the B sub O, which corresponds to the y-intercept in our graphical method. Now, our B sub O is 1 all over n times the quantity of the summation of y minus the B1 that you will get in the first step times the summation of x. You will have the answer for B sub O. Okay. Now, these values will represent your prediction equation, ha? Your prediction equation. Now, ang prediction equation is represented by the formula y is equal to b sub o plus b1x. Ayaw mo og ambak ha, kay mo rin ang kalagutan mo ambak. Okay. Ang inyong formula, that is still a prediction equation. Y is equals to b sub o plus b sub 1x. I will just place it kay murag na putol. This is your prediction equation, ha? Prediction pa ni. Prediction equation. So, ang inyong prediction equation is, you will have it as y is equal to b sub o. So, expected na nga, gisolve na ninyo ang inyong b sub o. Plus, b sub 1. O, kani ako i-emphasize. Mao na siya inyong prediction equation. So, if I will ask for the prediction equation, assuming that our B sub, ako lang butangan og value diri sa kuan, our B sub 1, assuming that our B sub 1 is equal to 2.5. Then our B sub O is, assuming ha, mao ni ato nakuha sa atong solution, B sub O is equal to 1.2. Assuming lang. When I ask for the prediction equation, i-substitute ra na ninyo. So it will be y is equal to B sub O 1.2 that ang mag-equal 1.2. Kaya ang uban na ba ni i-kuan mo guni unsa na i-shortcut pa lang ang kuan sa solution nga dili na ko i-consider is 2.5 then you will have the value of x. Walay value ang x, that is 1. That is like that. Mao na siya prediction equation. Now the next that follows will be it will be asking for I will look at first the atong yung kuan inyong data because I will get it from the example. So we will have here our correlation. We have that example nga ang na-answer 0.92. 0.92. I look at the table for that. Look at your table of the, what is this? The correlation, katong example ninyo. Senior elements. You were given in your table, find the value of the correlation coefficient from the table nga. You have your data for the age and the data for the glucose level. So out of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of this, I will ask for the prediction equation. Kaya if you will look at your solution of this one, your table is complete with the summation of x, summation of xy, summation of y, summation of xy. Diba? You have complete. Now, I will be asking for the prediction equation. So assuming that maunin nyo nakuha sa B1 o B2 ninyo, after getting the value of B1 and B sub O and B sub 1, i-substitute na ninyo dito sa prediction equation. Then my next question, 45, 21, 25, 42, 57, 58. So the next question that I will ask will be, what will be the glucose level? Will be example na niya, dili ni actual values. What will be the glucose level if the age of the person, if the age of the person is 23. Okay, if the age is 23. If the age of the person is 23. Mao na akong ikaduhang question. So assuming that ang katong sa inyong gisolve the problem sa assignment, katong age of glucose level, I was asking for the R, so you were able to get this R, then you have your decision. I want to use the same problem for you to solve for the simple linear regression. And again, in the solution of the simple linear regression, you will be solving, out of the data, you will solve for B sub O and B sub 1. Pero di na mo i-answer ha, inyo pa ng solbon. So I will be asking, this will be my first question. You answer this one. First, what will be the prediction equation? And letter B, what will be the glucose level of the person if the age is 23. If you will look at the data that is given, ang inyong mga age diha nga nakitaan, for the different ages, you have the glucose level. Pero you cannot see the age of 23. Ang inyo na diha is 45. Is that 43? Or, yeah, for age 43, the glucose level is 99. For age 21, it is 65. For age 25, and so on and so forth. That is what you can see. Now that is what you can see in your table. Now my question is, what will be the glucose level if the person is if the age of the person is 23? Wala man. So kaning inyong prediction equation nga gisolve with your B sub O and B sub 1, you can make use of this one to answer the second question. So it will be Y is equal to, your B sub O is 1.2 plus plus 2.5 and then you substitute the value of x, which is, because age is 23, so meaning ang x nimo given, but then you are going to solve for the value of y. So ang imong x is 23. So you will have it 23 if the age is 23. So that one, mauna na siya ang imong equation, prediction equation where you substituted the value of x, wherein your age here is represented as, mo si x ninyo, ang glucose level ninyo is y. Okay, so if you will solve for this, pila may answer just for an example kay pa-solve ko man ninyo. Kani dili ni tinuod nga example ha. For example, you have 1.2, 2.2 times 2.23, 46. Pila may answer ani? Dili ni ma-coincide kung atong analyze yun, kay lain man ang data. So assuming that we have 1.2 plus 2.5 times 23, pila? Para I can go on with my discussion.
Kuan miss
Pila
kana
man?
58.7.
Pila? 68 point?
58 miss.
58.7?
7. 70.
58.7. 58. Pero di mo i-answer ha. Kung example, 58.7. So meaning to say that if the person if the person is with an age of 23, ang iyang glucose level is 58.7. So wala man na niyo sa atong data, atong table, tanawon sa nako kung mo-fit in ba siya. 23, wala ni siya mo-fit in kay ngano. If you will look at kay hinini mo himo ra magud ato atong solution, di ba? I am just showing you as to how to solve it. Pero if you will look at the table, tanawa yung table ha. Ang age 43 is 99. Ang highest age ani diri is 59 with 81. Ang sunod, ang after 59 have 57, 87, 87, and then ang 59 ang dakong edad, pila may dakong. Ang 59, ang iyang glucose level is 81. Ang 57, 87. Ang sunod sa 57 will be 43, 99. Ang sunod sa 43, 42, 75. And then ang 25, 21, 65, 20, 21, 65, 25, 79. After the 25, the 42 is 75. Dili day parehas. Okay, so after you will have, kay di na ako makuan diri kay wala mo gud atong gisolve. Just an example. So if after getting this one, you can make your conclusion that age 23, the person with whose age is 23 has a glucose level of 58.7. Now tan-awon dayon na ninyo sa inyong data. Try to look at the data, each of the data kung kinsay highest, pila sad ang iyang ang iyang glucose level. And then tan-awan ninyo kung ang iyang highest, kung parehas ba sila if the age is increasing, ni-increase ba sad ang glucose level. So you can fit in your answer to the table. So if you can see that if the age level is increasing and then the glucose level will also increase, so you can say nga the age level is directly proportional to the glucose level of the blood of the person. Pero kung taas ang iyang edad, increasing age, but then your glucose level is decreasing, so the age level is inversely proportional to the glucose level of the person. So, mao na imong kay sometimes in the test, mao ni ako makuan ang kitaan, dili ni ang prediction formula idiretsohon ni og substitute ang age. So, munang usaray answer. I am asking for the prediction equation. So, ang butang sa prediction equation is y is equals to b sub o plus b sub 1 times 23 na dayon. Mao na na. Nya ang ikaduha, ang with the question nga asking for the y, ang resulta na aring gi-substitute ang 23 diretso, which is wrong kay if it is equation ra wala pay substitution of the value, so it will remain as y is equal to b sub o plus b1x. Y is equal to ang values ninyo nga nakuha sa b sub 1 o sa b sub o, and then your x will remain as x. Ayaw pag-substitute sa 23 because I am still asking for the prediction equation. Ang inyong substitution of the value of the y will be already in letter B together with the answer. Another thing is, if ever you will get B1 or B sub O 9 negative, do not be afraid of the negative answer. Carry over the negative answer when you will substitute it to the formula for determining the value of Y. Is that clear to everybody? Kani example ni. So, time pa ganun sa may inyong kuan inyong finals will be on ano kay ba mo ano sa inyong finals? Wala.
9-10 na ata, miss.
It is, I think, 8, 9, and 10. 3 days, 8, 9, and 10. So that is,
Oh, yes,
because
miss. Yes,
Friday,
miss.
8, 9, and 10. So I want you to listen. Now is, unsa man taron? 30? So I want you to solve on Wednesday. I want you to solve on Wednesday. Kato inyo gyapong assignment, katong duha. Itong first two examples in what is uploaded in the LMS, katong atong answer sa R is 0.52. And then, ang sunod, ang kani sa glucose level. So the first question for katong first nga tong 0.52 nga kuan look up the table. Ang inyong question sa number, ang inyong question sa first sa example will be you have naman your correlation coefficient. And I will ask in the first example, solve for the, what is this? Solve for the prediction equation. Ang letter B ninyo will be, ano given values for 8, 12, 16. Determine the, what is this? Determine the value of y if x will be 14. So what na ninyo? You write it down, I will write, ha? So for the first problem, katong katong ang answer ninyo is, katong answer is 0.50 pila to, point pila man to. R is, what I know is 0.5. I remember. Number 1 ninyo, katong sa nasa, katong atong example, sample problem na to. We were able to get R is equal to pero 0.5 man siguro to. I forgot this next one. 0.5
0.53, miss.
0.53. Ang mga na si answer na to. Ang sunod nga question ani, ang kani siya, ang question ani, solve for the prediction equation. So in letter A, it will be prediction equation. Kani wala man ni siya specific variable, x ug y ra ni. Dili kay kuan. Isunod sa ninyo number 2. So the prediction equation you will solve using your table, ha, katong table gigamit ninyo equation. Ang letter B ani, a question will be, ang letter B ninyong equation, what will be the value of y if x is 14? What will be the value of y? Unahang inyong kuan ang inyong number 1. Kani sa number kani siya, again you will have prediction equation, pero ang inyong question will be, well, what will be the sa man age of glucose level man nino? What will be the kanina lang, what will be the glucose level if age is 23? Kanina lang ang question. Kaya di man ni mo answer. Kaya di man ni mo atong B sub. This is not kuan man, this is not the answer, di ba? This is not the answer kay because assuming raman ang atong B1, you will have to solve first for your B1, right? Are you listening? Tingali mo ninyong gamiton akong i-reason ni. Okay. So, kani ang inyo number 2, prediction equation, ako ni i-reason. Onya, dili ni mao kay dili to atong hinimo atong B o B1. So it will be the same question nga, what will be the glucose level if the age is 23? Kay wala man na sa di man to ang answer. Kasi katong wa maminaw, ang katong example may butang ha. So again, katong atong sample problem sa atong sample problems na naa sa LMS katong ang answer nga R is equal to 0.53 katong gi-discuss na ako nga wa mahuman gi-assignment ninyo. The question will be what will be the prediction equation of that data and then what will be the value of y if x is equals to 14. Wala man ay kuan variable ng given x ug y raman. Ang number 2 katong age ug glucose level the same. Letter A I will ask for the prediction equation, then letter B what will be the glucose level if the age is 23. Now, when you make your attachment, ang katong inyong solution will be number 1, you place the table complete with the summation and the value of x katong gigamit ninyo first before you will have your solution for the prediction equation and the value. Ayaw na lang, okay, human naman mag-solve. And then, for number 2 also, you place the table before you solve for your A and B. Ana dili kay naguna ang answer, una pa ang solusyon, nagkayamukat pa ang number 2, number 1 ana di jud ka mo check ana nya pa nay uban hanap kaayo para di maklaro nako kung correct ba ang solution or not. Mao na mga strategy sa uban nga estudyante. Which kung di sa ko kabasa, di sa nako i-consider kay kapoy kay kuan. Okay, going back to the schedule na kay today is 30, so your Wednesday you will have your assignment and then is June 1. After that one, ang next na to meeting will be June 6, right? Uy, is that clear? June 6. Pagka Wednesday, ana, so I think I will add one more, or if not, we will just discuss the assignment on Monday, then some additional simple problem. Pagka June 8, you will have your final exam. Is that clear to everybody? Huh?
Yes,
Miss,
Klaro? Yeah?
Miss, ako yung question, Miss. Regarding
O,
sa
sige.
activity karong Wednesday, Miss ba? Pwede ang
Mm.
deadline kay kanang gabi, Miss, kay one of the students ko mo take og Macboard sa June 1 ug June 2.
Oh, di ayaw na ubahan ang tanan ang imo lang. Malipay ang uban. Ang tanan day magkuan, magkuan.
Ako pwede ro ka, Miss. So, wala akong Miss. Akong ang activity na kay mo gud. All day, Miss, sa June 1, June 2 na kay Macboard.
O lagi paminaw. Kinsa may kauban nimo, wa ikarang usa kay I will just send you another set of questions.
Ako raw sa, Miss.
Oh, ikarang usa. Tempa murata, I will just send. So meaning wala ka sa kuan, I will give you. Absolutely, you try to text me nga kuan na ka, you are ready to take the una kasi ako ipada ang kuan, ang data.
Asa man, Miss,
So,
mo, Messenger, Miss, or email?
Nato na lang siguro sa Messenger kay ngano kuan man anang unsa ni. Umana man sila ini kuan tingali nimo tay pagano sa amang kamo sa Wednesday no, di man ka mo kuan sa Wednesday when hindi ka gabi naman ka.
Magabi
So
na,
ini
Miss,
ka
kay
gabi. Oh, kagabi na so ini ka gabi ana you try to text me ikagabi kay I will text nimo na ko isend lang ta ka sa kuan sa sa data then ikaw man mo solve sa data anang ko the same day just send it to me back sa messenger lang gyapon ano usa ra man ka dili magdi ko maglisod so
okay,
sa
Miss.
Wednesday mo text ka na ko mga alas 5:30 ba or kuan then pag text nimo na ko I will send back to you I will reply with the question then ibalik lang sa nako ikaw man nimo sa imong answers kay para di ko maglisod so para ma-reminded sa ko i-message na lang messenger na lang.
Pod, Miss. Napo question, Miss, kang regarding sa akong oath, Miss, ba? When ka available mo sign, Miss?
Uy, wa pa kay ka ka-finals. Kuan di ka,
Lagi,
graduating day
Miss.
ka.
Oh, yes,
Ay,
Miss.
katagwang nimo dili na ka magbuhat sa kuan ang imong kuan. So therefore, kay ikaw man usa dili ayaw pag-share sa kuan. Ay paon sa taron 30.
30, Miss.
Ikaw Wednesday, dili. Wednesday man ka mag-Macboard no?
Oo.
Kuan na
Yes,
lang
Miss.
kana. Ang test ninyo man na magud yung test kana. Karon na lang kang gabi. And then you send kana na naman na nimo ang data. Wala na karon kang gabi maghimo. You just send me the answer sa kuan ako sa email. Email na
Okay,
lang
Miss.
ako.
Okay, Miss.
Karon na lang kay haron
Ah.
kung ma-check na ako, ma-compute na ko imong grado, I can sign your kuan, your vote. Wednesday na ako sa Wednesday man. Sa school.
Sige, miss.
So enough for me to compute your grade. So karon na lang ka, i-email ang solution nimo para ma-check na ko una nya. Sa Wednesday man tong eskwelahan, I will sign here. Pwede? Okay ra. Iyo na di dugay na ra kay tungkuan mo man ang sa graduating.
Kuan miss niya
Ikaw
ako
na kay
ang deadline mo sa kuan miss sa tawag na sa mong out kay karong 30, 31.
Oo, kay. Pwede pa na sa Merkulis ay.
Yeah. Kira.
Pwede pa na
Yes.
sa Merkulis kahibaw ko. So,
Okay.
anyway, I will be there morning so kuan kung madawat ra gyapon na.
Okay. So, clarify miss ang question na konsideran ko ng gabi kay ang kaning ang ang table 1 miss di ba katum nang kuan glucose ug age level no. Ang RR 0.53.
Bali to nya. Ingon man ko
Oo.
ninyo good masig unsaon ninyo nya. Ang number 1 katong atong discuss sample problem kaduha ka ra ka data na sa elements.
Oh. So kuan miss ang A sa number 1 kay prediction equation. Ang B apil ni ang kaning B what will be the true value if x is y is was 40 sa 1.
Oo. Alam
Ang
mo
kaning
mo
kuan
sa
miss.
simple regression.
Ang kaning pong kuan miss what will
prediction equation na to mo man simple regression equation. This is prediction equation is the simple regression equation. Nya kana siya mo na question nga about the simple regression equation. Ang katong ang tanawa lang ang kuan katong nag-answer tag 0.53 mao to siya ang katong example problem. Ang katong atong inyong assignment mao to katong kuan jud katong glucose ug kuan so nama may trace mo age ug glucose level mao to siya ang kaning question. Ang katong usa x and y raman to mo ni ang question. Kani gihapon mo ni.
So ang lagi miss ang katong ang number 1 kay di ba age and glucose ko ano?
Oo, nya may mo to number 1 na siya, number 2 tong usa okay ra. Basta
So ang kuan ang
search
sira na
your
sa ang sira na miss AB kay kuan prediction equation ng A niya ang B kay kaning what will be the glucose level if the age is 23.
Oo.
Ya katong ikaduhang kuan miss
ang prediction
ikaduhang
equation
table. Ay mo
ang
gyapon ang prediction equation niya ang B kay morning what will be the value if x.
is equals to 14.
Okay miss. Miss clarify
Okay,
na miss.
ninyira unsay question? Okay, ninyira. Raise mo kasi mong hand unsay question? Ninyira.
Same rami og miss clarification miss kay katong last na assignment miss kay duha to siya ka problem which is ang number 2 is katong moisture content.
O lagi.
So,
ako magutong giingon ninyo nga pwede ra mabali-bali. Ang problema lang, ang pwede mabali-bali pero katong mga nangopya, wala mo fit in ang ilang solution sa ilang kuan. Pwede ra number 1 mahimo number 2 na as long as in your solution. Unsa man?
Lahi akong gimin miss karon na umaabot na quiz this Wednesday miss so ang data na among kaon sa among answer kay mag-base sa katong age and glucose level so wala kay labot katong moisture and
O di ka maminaw dong. Na magkabasa mo sa blackboard? Can you read the blackboard, ha? Can you read?
Nag-clarify mo miss.
Lagi ka, if you can read the blackboard and if you were listening, ako ganang gi-specify nga if your number 1 is R with the 0.53, mo na ang questions. If the R is 0.92 with age and glucose level, mauri ang question kaning sa ubos prediction equation o kaning what will be the glucose level. Makita na nimo kung ma-trace na nimo with the word glucose level if the age is you were not listening. Okay, any more questions? Any more questions? As long as you will have your table, una pa imong solusyon, maskin pag number 1 is number 2, number 2 is number 1, okay ra kay na basta ang imong table ni kuan fit in with this solution. Dili kay ang table gikopya diri sa right, ang solution gikopya sa left, muna nagtrokis. Any more questions? Wala na.
Excuse me, Miss, pa-clarify ko na sa formula sa kwan, Miss, sa ato ang simple linear regression, Miss, sa B sub 1, Miss, ba kay ako nakita dre, Miss, kay kwan ang iyang formula, Miss, n multiplied by summation of x and y minus summation of x multiplied by summation of x and multiplied by summation of y. Unsa na siya? Duha ni ka summation of x?
Wala kay maminaw.
Dili, mag-base ko sa kuan, Miss.
Yeah, I was reading the LMS ay nalag ko andi ay likay kay nga. Wa ka maminaw. Kay pag humana kog basa, Ako dang gikuha ng attention sa ni klase nga there is something wrong nga na-repeated ang summation of x. Kapila na ko gisulti. Ningon kay ko ninyo, you watch out because in the test, if you were not listening during the lecture, inyo gyunan dublihon. So meaning to say, wa ka maminaw. Okay.
My line is cutting in and out, miss. Sorry, miss.
Oh, see? O nya, sa pa'y question? Sa pa'y question? Okay na ang utana mo, pero kakibaw sa guwa sa mo, minaw. Kaya kung naminaw mo, ako mag-ingon, explain. So, okay ra. Wala na question? Na, wala maningog, eh, kanina mangupiras ko, ano, wala maningog. Muna, magsaksak sinagol ang solusyon. Nya, ang gamitong ballpen, perting hanapa, may panglapis, kay maklaro patingali. Kaya tuyoon mo na, it is one of the strategy nga you will use a very pale ka ng pen para inyo kong libog-libogon. Mura basag di na ko sigaon akong mata pagtanaw sa inyong solution. Okay, na more questions, class? Mauna to ha, sa Wednesday, you will have to solve this one. Kaya sa Monday of next week, you'll have to review a little, then you will have your test Wednesday. Wala, humana dayon. Kahuman, failed or passed. Di ba? Uy, wala na. Lingog. Matog naman tingali ni. Okay, no more questions, class. I will dismiss the class. Bye, class.
Bye, miss. Thank you, miss.
O, see?
Miss, thank
Bye
you,
lagi
miss.
kayo. Basta bye. Basta